All right. I guess I just step out of the office again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
I
decided to
don't
go to
know.
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yeah, I have no idea where my coworkers are. Okay. No clue. Oh. There's computers with different inputs. Papers on the floor. Mm-hmm. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right, I'll enter the door on my left. Sure. We'll follow your lead, narrator. Okay.
Yet there was not a single
You
person
obviously
here
know what we're
either.
doing. There's
Feeling
no one
a
here.
wave of disbelief,
Uh-huh.
Stanley decided to go up to it. Oh no, oh no, 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 no,
What?
not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all.
What?
I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay. I like this room. It's a nice room. I just wanted to be in the room. Is there a problem with me being in the room? Why can't I be in the broom closet, Mr. Narrator Man? Huh? I'm so confused. Do I wait for you to say something? Are you gonna be upset with me if I stand here and do nothing? I don't think you're gonna say anything. That's okay. All right, fine.
Coming to a staircase,
I'll go with your
Stanley
story.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep. I'm walking upstairs to my boss's office.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Exactly.
All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Yeah.
And then something occurred to Stanley.
What?
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
I might be
All of my
crazy.
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
That's
None
true.
of it made any logical sense.
Nothing's making
And as
any
Stanley
sense.
pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
That
And for
is
that
true.
matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
are.
repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
It can't be real.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
Which
he
is?
just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Yeah.
This is all a dream.
It's all a dream.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Wow.
And Stanley marveled
It was very
that
fun.
he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
What's the
One
question?
he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
I'm getting a little creeped
there
out.
A voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking.
Yeah, actually,
Now
why
the voice
is there?
was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
That is very
dreaming
strange.
About a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered
This
if
is
this
very
voice spoke
mind-bending.
to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if
so it's not a
he's
dream?
asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
This is hurting my
Stanley
brain.
is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Okay.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
I'm very shocked.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
It could
Did
be.
the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How
That's
else
true.
would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Okay.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
All right.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Yeah.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job.
Okay.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My
Sure.
life is normal. I am normal.
That's debatable
Everything
right
will
now.
be fine. I am okay.
Oh.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be.
Oh
Can
my
anyone
God.
hear my voice? Who
Oh.
am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What? Stanley?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? Mariella?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then
What the
collapsed
fuck?
dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
So wait, I'm
Everyone
dead
knows what
now?
crazy people look like.
What?
And
Hold
in
on,
that
wait.
moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
Okay.
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then
That's
she
weird.
remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
So wait, does she not
had
care
no
about the
time
dead
for
body?
this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Damn. Left Stan's dead body there? We're just gonna... Wait, what? Oh, wait, So wait. I've went with the grain, went against the grain, and then at one point went insane and died. What the hell is going on? All right. I guess I'll step out of my office
All
again.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
I
find a trace
know
of his
it's
co-workers.
we're already back through all this. I know. No matter how hard I looked, I can't find my coworkers. Okay, can't open that door. Can't open that door. I can't open that door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? I will. I'll enter the door on my left again. Sure. Uh-huh.
Yet there was not a single person
Yeah,
there either.
yeah. Not a single
Feeling a wave
person.
of
Uh-huh.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
Hey.
office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Hey! The broom! My broom closet. That's fucked up.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley
We'll
walked
go
upstairs
upstairs.
to his boss's
Fine.
office.
Fine. Yeah, Mr. Narrator Man. Because the boss knows what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's the what the boss chose. Okay. Well, that's new. All right. Oh. What the hell? Business strategy. A man holding a panda at gunpoint? Oh, hi. Hello. This is new. We're going down. Hell yeah. What? Oh, is it shake those maracas? Well, disembodied voice, is this what you wanted? Don't know where this elevator is taking me. It's taking me somewhere. Jam out to this music while we go. Mm-hmm. Any day now. See, it's just, I think it's because it's every time I go through this in the simulation, you just are gonna, things are gonna change and keep being different. So, oh, I can crouch. I think it's no matter what I do, things are just gonna keep continuously being different. Oh. Oh. It was a trick. I see.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
Want to play the piano?
He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk.
Yeah, there's a keypad right here.
What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
That's true.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
I'm very lucky.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
And then I go in here and I go down, right? That's what you want me to do, is go down? No problem. No problem. We do all this again.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What if I don't and go to the one that says escape?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, all right. That's fine.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, I do, but you said the violent death.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. I'm willing. So what happens now? Oh. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
That's true.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture.
No,
I
can't
know the real story.
I do.
Forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps
Not really.
his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
That's kind of fucking weird to say, buddy.
And willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Who are you?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Wait, but who are you? Hold on. The Stanley parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh? But who the hell are you now? Wait a minute.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
Oh.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. Office layout. Oh, it's the office. Corridor. Pacing in the opening scene. Okay, hold on. The blueprint shows the office layout. In the game, the past stands office the two doors. The first part of the game was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout the game development, though the core layout remains almost identical in the first iteration. The pacing section opening was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches two doors in a good time. Oh. Nature paintings. Okay. Two doors. The set of two doors was very concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction the room posed. Okay, filing cabinets. That's great. Office computers. There's a lot of stuff on display here. Button sounds. A selection of sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard strokes and synthesized tone. I see. This is the credits. What's this way? Office clock. Boss's office. Scenes from the development of the boss's office. Oh. Wait, is this like... Is this actually like the development?
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example.
Narrator outtakes. Kevin Brighton, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development. These are clips of the earlier takes that were not used for the plugin. Oh, this is really interesting. Underground, an early version of the underground portion. Okay. I like this. So all these different endings, like, and all these like walkthroughs. Freedom ending. This is the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. It's so interesting. Countdown desk. One of the desks in the early version of the countdown ending. Okay, freedom ending. This is a freedom ending. Exists in the beta. Countdown room. Early version of the countdown room. Oh. What is this? The game design mock-up. This is a level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to do the full design of the game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout is still a mock-up of the game. Still, mock-up is still in the game. I'm sorry, not still a mock-up of the game. Still in the game. Okay, these are the offices. Stanley's office, from left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. First created November 2011, the second in 2012, and the third in... Oh! That's 2011, that's 2012, that's 2013. Damn, this is actually cool and very, very creepy. The apartment timer. In the previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Cargo lift. Okay. So yeah, these are just different versions of different endings and different things inside of these endings. The Zending. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which eventually cut and merged into another part of the game. The game is now paused. Begin the game again, resume the game options, escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Okay. This is so fascinating to me. Oh.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Yeah. Oh, what'd I do?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
I don't know.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
I don't even know what you're talking about or who you're talking to, lady.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh. I died.